have a couple of players in the hot seat today on the UXi Podcast. We want to get a little bit of information and insight out of them as to how their year was and how their time has been at UXi. So I'm going to jump straight in from my left-hand side. I'm going to ask you gents to just introduce yourself and tell us what year you're in the program and what position you play. And then I'll jump into the questions from there.
Hello guys, my name is Ubele Tibini. This is my third year here at the academy. I play flank and lock. This year, clubs I've played for this year would be Villages and Portrefi this year.
My name is Calvin Willows. I'm a second year at the UXi Western Province Rugby Academy, and I cover back three, for which I played for Villages this year.
Hallo, my naam is MJ van der Westhuizen. Ek het speel vir Villagers tans en ek speel losvoorspeler 6-7 en 8.
My naam is Enrico Gianni. Derde jaar ek het vir Villagers en Portrefi gespeel en ek speel loskopstad.
Kom ons begin by jou, Emia. Jy sê die eerste jaar op die program. Wat was jou verwagting voor jy by UXi begin het van die program? Wat het jy gedink, hoe gaan dit wees?
Ek het op die nippertjie besluit ek gaan hier toe kom en ek het geweet dit gaan harde werk wees, maar die eerste week wat hulle noem die helweek, dit was bietjie erg vir my gewees, maar ek meen dit vat jou tot op 'n hoër level, so ek het dit baie interessant gevind die maniere wat ons die fiksheid doen.
En jy het die geleentheid gehad om vir WP Provinsiaal Rugby ook te speel hierdie jaar. Wat 'n rol het die instituutprogram gespeel om jou op die vlak te kry om daar gekies te kan word?
Ek meen op skool was my krag, my fiksheid nie daar waar dit moet wees nie, maar die instituut het my gekry deur elke dag te gym. Die halfweek soos ek genoem het, dit het my fiksheid op 'n ander level gebring en gemaak dat ek in die environment, as mense so kan sê, kan inkom by die westelike provinsie.
En wat is jou planne vir volgende jaar? Gaan jy aanbly? Waartoe kyk jy om te gaan?
Ek meen ek hou my opsies oop, so tans gaan ek bly by die academy, want ek wil graag my WP verder vat en met die academy se fiksheid en se gym facilities en goedjies sal ek moontlik dit kan doen.
Okay. Callan, you second year on the program, you had the opportunity to be in the program now for 2 years, second year going into third year now. How does your experience of the program change from first to second year?
Yeah, I think just the intensity at which you train, you get to set new goals with every new season that comes along. And you know what the standard is that you have to train at in order to get the best opportunities and to make the most of your opportunity for being here. So, yeah.
I remember meeting you last year. 1 year later, you're definitely looking at a more conditioned state. Tell us, what difference does it make from a conditioning point of view to stay in the program for a second year?
Yeah, I just think you've got to up your training as you go on, and if you want to perform at a higher level, which is what they prepare you for, you really just got to up the intensity. They have different programs, so as you improve within your gym and your fitness, you sort of move on to the next phase of training, which is sort of at a higher level. Your gym programs change from just your standard gym program to a more explosive training, and that all benefits your game and your physical appearance and that, yeah.
So speaking about conditioning, are you currently sitting in a moon boot, so you've obviously had an injury. What support have you received from a rehabilitation point of view?
Yeah, it's been very, very good. It's been a difficult year, having 2 injuries and missing out on the majority of the season. But yeah, the rehab protocols that I've followed, that the academy's provided for me, have really been top notch. I feel like I've recovered pretty well. From my first injury, I recovered sooner than what I was expected to recover, and obviously now I'm with the next injury. I've got different recovery and rehabilitation protocols in place that I have to follow, but I trust that all will go well and that I'll be ready for the next season when I get to start again.
Okay, so let's jump to the third years now. Tell us, I think it's quite unique for guys to be in a academy program like this for 3 years. I've asked Cullen now, what's a jump from first to second year? What does it mean to you in the development of your rugby to be able to spend 3 years in a program like this?
So I'm going to be honest, my first year I didn't take it as seriously as I should have taken it. And then throughout the year, then I realized that this is a place where if you actually take stuff seriously, stuff will come your way. And that's what happened to me last year in my second year, where I worked so hard that I was given the privilege and honor to play with the under-21 Boland last year, Sunderland Boland side, in the Currie Cup, which then really went on to win the Currie Cup Shield last year, which was one of the best moments of my life, I could say. And I couldn't have done that without UXi, if I could say that as well. And then this year I could feel that this year was going to be a year of like more bigger things to come, since I realized the year before that working for the stuff actually works, especially when you're with UXi. But unfortunately this year I came with quite a tough injury with my knee. I basically tore everything in my knee, so I had to go for surgery around July, June side. But to elaborate on what Cullen said, the recovery protocols and rehab protocols here at UXi, I could say, are stellar. Because even my physio, the Boland physio, he's been surprised and shocked at how quickly my recovery is actually getting, because I'm actually, to him, he says that I'm a step ahead, or not even a step ahead, like a few steps ahead in my rehab. So I could say staying here for the third year, even though with the injury, I'd say it was probably a good idea, one of the best idea to stay here for another third year, as there was a second chance me for Boland under-21. So I could say being here for 3 years at UXi, the opportunities are countless. You just got to work for it, obviously. So to those who will come for the first year, take your first year seriously, and maybe you'll be out of the first year or second year, you'll really have something going on, but work for it and UXi will give you what you want.
So you mentioned something that I find quite interesting. You said you arrived in your first year and you didn't take it that seriously. I think it's something that a lot of boys actually do when they arrive, is they think parents are playing, it's nice to be here, you're just going to have some fun and play a bit of rugby.
Yeah, especially in Stellenbosch, yeah.
When you're in Stellenbosch, a student town, was there a specific trigger that changed your mindset from going to not taking it as seriously to, now I'm going to work hard and really make a pathway out of this?
I think it would come from the coach's side, because I would have a lot of one-on-ones with the coaches, and I could see their trust and belief in me, even though sometimes I would know myself I wouldn't take it seriously, or I was lacking a lot. I could see the coaches were still trying to push me to actually take it seriously, and then I just switched from there and I was like, let me actually take it seriously, because I have people who believe in me and actually want me to go further. So the least I could do is actually just work hard for what they want, and I sowed what I reaped last year with the under-21 Boland side.
Great. Enrico, ons hou die grootste vir laaste. Vertel ons bietjie van jou tyd by UXi. Wat het vir jou beteken oor die 3 jaar periode?
So selfs as Babs eerste jaar hier aangekom, uiteindelik ernstig opgevat net ek het die tyd gelewe in my eerste jaar, want ek het gedink ek is in Stellenbosch, wow. Tweede jaar het ek net vir myself gesê, maar ek is hier vir 'n rede en ek weet wat daai rede is. En toe het ek net begin werk tot waar ek nou is. En ja.
En as jy nou klaarmaak aan die einde van hierdie jaar, wat is jou planne vir volgende jaar?
So ek het nou 'n geleentheid om by die SVD Oranje aan te sluit. Bietjie by hulle aan te kyk hoe ek is, of hulle my soek waar. En dan of daar's ander opsies ook, maar my fokus is sover net op die een.
Okay. En waarmee voel jy kan jy als wegstap aan die einde van hierdie tyd hier?
Ek kan wegstap met, ek het al oral amper gespeel, ek het onder 21 request gespeel, ek het onder 21 Boland gespeel, so ek kan uitstap met 'n beter persoon en 'n beter rugby speler as wat ek was voor ek aangekom het by UXi.
En voel jy uit 'n professionele oogpunt nie net rugby maar ook akademie of studies of in die werksplek, beteken dit meer vir jou om in so 'n omgewing te wees as om net reguit klub rugby te gaan speel na skool?
Ja, definitief, want soos hulle wat nou al beserings het, die rugby is nie alles wat jy soos kan doen die res van jou lewe nie. Jy moet aanskuif na 'n punt met dit. So ja, akademie en alles moet in orde wees en jou mens wees om verder ook te kan kom in die lewe. So ja.
Anton, you've essentially been with the academy set up since its inception back in, what was it, 2014?
Yeah.
What changes have you seen, and do you think that having brought UXi on board and where the institutes are now spread across 6 campuses nationwide, do you think they've got a rightful place now in the professional rugby pathway in South Africa?
Yeah, definitely, Andre. And I think just listening to the boys and them talking about their journeys, the one thing that they don't allude to, because they all talk about the success they've had on the field. Babs has graduated from IMM. Enrico's graduating. Cullen graduated last year from HFPA. Emia's with IMM at the moment. So when we talk about why Babs stayed for his second year, why he stayed for his third year, there was obviously the academic journey that they followed as well, to ensure that they got their diploma or their certificate or their degree or whatever it was that they were studying. But somewhere along that journey, they realized that actually they do have potential. And we've always said that an institute boy or an academy boy's journey is slightly different to those kids that get contracted straight out of school. So that first year is integral in terms of what I would call catch-up, for the guys actually to realize that what they can achieve, and then to see what BAPS did last year. When we talk about the UXi pathway, there's games that we play against Boland under 21 training groups. There's games that we play against SAS. There's games and there's coaches discussions that happen around their performances. So Coach Jean de Jong at Boland under 21, it's about getting Babs into those groups. It's about getting Enrico up to Griquas because we have a footprint in Kimberley, getting him up there, playing Griquas under 21. Likewise, those discussions again with Boland this year to get him into those groups, all backed by performance. Once you get the kid into that, you create the window of opportunity. Once he's in that setup, he's got to get selected.
Yep.
Cullen likewise at Villages, going from under 20s into a senior environment, winning the Super League A this year with Villages. And very unfortunate that he had the injury that he had. Otherwise, he would have played a lot more games for the Villages first side and been part of their Gold Cup squad at the end of the year. And Emia was another one who came out of the Boland Craven Week and went on to play Province under 19 and under 21. But surprisingly enough, played Province under 21 before he played Province under 19. So that's a massive achievement. But those are discussions that we as directors, we as coaches have with the pathway coaches from the various unions. So UXi doesn't only just provide a conditioning platform, a rugby platform. We provide a complete pathway platform because our relationships are intact. And we have relationships with coaches who trust our input, who value our input, and know that when we recognize talent, we're recognizing a kid that has good values, has talent, will add value to their system. As soon as the boy's in the system, he's got to take the chance. We can't take the chance for him, but we can create opportunity for him. And that's what we've done around the 6 institutes in South Africa. I think we had 13 or 14 boys that played for the Pumas under 21 side. We had 8 or 9 that were in the Griquas under 21. We had guys in the Boland under 21 side who are our neighbours. They're not really part of the academy, but they recognise the talent from our institute. Boys at Province, Limpopo had a huge number as well. So there's As we say, for kids who are choosing a rugby destination, we give as the boys will say, their first year was a great destination in terms of what they looked at socially, because it was first time out of home, meeting new friends in Stellenbosch, in Limpopo on the farm, or at Harlequins in Pretoria. They choose the environment where they want to go to. It's going to take them time to adapt in that environment. And then they're going to soon enough realize that the coaches will create opportunities, recognize their talent. And I always say the cream always comes to the top. So there's definitely a pathway, but it's more so just than the rugby pathway that keeps them here for that second and third year period.
Yeah. Gents, good luck with the journey ahead. And UXi, it's the window of opportunity for you to come and grow your academic, rugby and a lifestyle. So we want to pose the challenge to you to come and make the most of it. See you next time.